Hey guys, what I'll do tonight's video blog from the kitchen. The video blog tonight is regarding weight loss and how much crap it is to say weight loss, because at the end of the day it's not really about losing weight. You don't walk around with a set of scales, saying I weigh this much. Given the option guys, what would you rather lose? Weight or body fat? I know I'd rather losing the body fat's going to make you a lot healthier, whereas losing weight, that doesn't mean nothing. You could be losing water, you could be losing muscle. It doesn't mean a thing to lose weight. You know, people will go to the gym and they get disheartened because they've been training their ass off for 4 weeks. They feel like they've been eating the right foods, but their weight hasn't dropped that much. It may have dropped by 2 pounds. In hindsight, guys, if that person's following a good diet for their body, they're training correctly, they're getting the recovery, they're getting the supplements in, that person may have actually lost 4 pounds of body fat, and they may have put on 2 pounds of lean muscle mass. So, in hindsight, they have lost 4 pounds of fat, which is great, but they're disheartened because they don't realise that they've actually, through the efforts of training, they've actually added on the muscle mass. Theories obviously go around, guys, that you've got muscle which weighs more than fat. There's some theories that say that this is true, there's some theories that don't. It depends how you look at it from a perspective, I suppose. To me, it's that bricks and feather thing. A kilo of bricks is going to weigh the same as a kilo of feathers. Where people just assume that because one brick will be heavier than one feather. That's the way it works. But the way it works in muscle, guys, is muscle is a lot more dense than what fat is. So once you're training, if you're adding on that muscle mass, your muscle's going to become more dense. If you've got a high body fat percentage, fat does spread across the body, more than muscle. Muscle is fixed exactly where it is. The only way it's going to move is if it grows, and it's going to stay in that point, whereas fat will spread across the body. So yeah, you've got to. It depends which way you look at it, guys. But a lot of people just go around saying that muscle weighs more than fat, and looking at the things that I've looked on the research, there's nothing really to actually prove that. If there is, guys, email me that evidence and I'll happily read that, because I've been trying to look for it for a good few months now. Okay, guys, so yeah, just going back to what this video blog is about, I don't want to go too much into detail about it, but people have been coming to me recently saying, it's been such a good year for me this year for my weight. I've lost 14 pounds. I only started training 3 weeks ago, and I lost 14 pounds. Ideally, guys, you don't want to lose any more than 2-3 pounds a week. If you're losing more than that, it's pretty much a guarantee that weight is going to come from your muscle mass and your body's natural water retention. The last thing that your body wants to give up, guys, is fat. You've got to diet it right. If you're not dieting it right, which a lot of these people who have lost, like this person who comes to me in the gym, and 14 pounds in 3 weeks is a lot of weight to lose in those 3 weeks. I asked them what they were eating. They told me it's pretty much nothing. General people think they'll have a bowl of cereal or a piece of fruit for lunch, and a salad, and then they'll have some cereal or some Special K in the afternoon for dinner, and that's it. That, guys, is not enough calories to take in a day. Your body, of course you're going to lose weight. It's pretty much well known that if you take in less food than you burn up in a day, you're going to lose weight. That's the way it works. But then the body, just because you want to lose fat doesn't mean it's going to. It will lose weight, guaranteed. Again, it's not going to be fat, it's going to be muscle and water. So why is this? Your body goes into starvation mode, guys. Fat is essential. Fat is essential for the way that your brain functions. It's essential for insulation, to keep your body warm. It's essential, go back to your brain. It actually insulates and protects your joints, as well as your central nervous system. Those are the cords running through your spine, and they help with the body's functions. So the last thing that your body wants to give up is fat. It's going to go for your carbohydrate source first, which is your energy source. That's the stuff that you get from your pasta, your potatoes, your rice, any bread if you eat bread. You shouldn't be, because you should be eating healthy. So that's the first energy source. Going to go from there. Once that's been depleted and there's no more to go for, The option of muscle or fat, guys, if you're not taking in, your proteins and your supplements to aid the muscle, it's going for the fat. It's not going to go for the fat, sorry, it's going for the muscle. Especially if you're starving yourself and just taking on these, salads and sugars from fruits. So you've got to diet it right, guys. A lot of people don't, and that's where the problem lies. And that's why they lose so much weight. And then as soon as they start eating again, guys, the body has stored fat, for its reserves, and it's going to think, right, I'm just going to take in whatever I can. So when you get those low sugar levels because you haven't been eating and you've been starving yourself, you take in all those sugars, all those fats, you know straight where that is going to, guys. Right then, so why is the best way to measure your success for losing body fat? You can go and obviously do your body fat by calipers. I just want to keep this video quite short tonight, guys. I don't want to make it too long. Best way to do it, guys, measure yourself. Okay, get a measuring tape. Take measurements from your waist. Best place to go, guys, one place isn't going to move, is your belly button. Get a nice even measurement around, go in front of a mirror, make sure it's even and you're not lopsided. And then go for the hips, guys. So when you go for the hips, I'll just back off to show you, I'm not going to be stripping. That's not your hip. That is part of your hip, but that's not your hip. That's part of your iliac crest, which is the hip bone. You want to go and feel, for what should be, guys, apart from the shoulders, the widest part of your body. You're going to feel it, it's going to be quite sharp. Okay, again, take your second measurement from there, get a nice round even measurement. Go from there, guys, waist, and hips. Measure that every week. Try and do it in the morning before you've eaten and take anything on, assuming that you haven't had a heavy night out the night before. That's going to affect it if you've had a curry or a pizza, that may be a cheat meal. Do it on that morning before rather than the morning after. So you've got to time it right as well, the way you measure yourself, guys, because there's a bit of factors which are going to affect that. Okay, guys, so just remember again what I've said, take the measurements. You don't walk around life with scales saying, I weigh this much. Given the option, would you rather lose a stone in weight, or would you rather lose 2 inches off your waist? Assuming obviously you've only lost a stone, but you've lost, say, half an inch off your waist. The other person may have lost 2 inches off the waist, but may have not lost any weight at all. But they have dropped their body fat and increased their lean muscle mass. So, guys, choose which person you want to be. Don't live life on the scales. Too many people do and they get depressed. And again, guys, just make sure you train right. I recently took a friend to the gym and he was surprised by how many people were just on the gym, on the cross trainer, going really slow because they believe that obviously the best way to burn body fat is to keep your heart rate at a steady, consistent pace, which it is. You do that all the time, guys, your body adapts to it. Same as a diet, you keep anything the same and the body's going to, after a while, it's going to plateau. You're going to hit a peak where you're just not seeing your goals anymore, and then eventually you're going to quit. And who wouldn't? If I went to the gym for 4 weeks and I've been doing the same kind of thing every week and I hadn't seen any results, who wouldn't quit? You've got to keep it interesting, guys. If you want any suggestions of how to combat fat loss or how to work your diet and how to train, just hit me up on my email, guys. Okay, so that's pretty much my rant over, guys. I'm going to get myself out. Have a good weekend. If you need to email me, keep the questions coming in. Really loving them at the minute. It's rich@rb-fitness.com, or visit my website, which is www.rb-fitness.com. Most emails, guys, have been coming from my Facebook. You're free to continue that. I'm trying to get back to as many as you as I can. I've got quite a busy period at the moment, so I am trying. But have a good weekend, guys, and that's my rant on weight loss. Have a good one.